Hello, Ambassador. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Same here. Welcome to Bangladesh House.
Oh, thank you so much for inviting us today.
안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
Please come inside.
Oh, thank you. Oh,
This is our living area.
wow, you
of
have such a
Bangladesh
nice
house.
view. It's beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Ambassador, I believe each residence features its own cultural items. Would you like to introduce for our viewers, please?
Sure. We have some paintings from Bangladesh.
Uh-huh.
It is one of those paintings.
Oh,
It is painted by a lady,
uh-huh.
Konok Chapa Chakma.
Mm.
She actually depicts the life of ethnic marriages in Bangladesh.
I see.
And these are mainly very colorful
It is.
and kind of abstract, semi-real. Yes, that's her style.
I see. I can read a lot of emotions on the face.
Yes, yes. She mainly actually depicts the women of ethnic minority. So mostly in her painting you'll see the face of women, or women are doing something, they're in their housework, or you know, the focus is on women.
Oh,
I like
see.
that.
It's beautiful.
This painting,
Uh-huh.
it is also done by a lady painter,
Oh,
Rokia Sultana. You can see the color, no? The vibrancy
Yes,
and everything, the
uh-huh.
combination.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
I love the mixture of color.
Me too, yeah, and I really like the red color.
Yes.
you know. Actually, Bangladesh is a country where we love paintings, and Bangladesh has been hosting the Asia Biennale since 1981. And we also hosting Dhaka Art Summit since 2012.
I see.
Yeah, and regular Korean artist, they regularly participates in Asian Biennale and also the Dhaka Art Summit. And last year I invited some of the Korean artists, and this year I'm planning to have a kind of gathering. There will be around over 50 Korean artists actually participated so far, because last year we hosted the 18th Biennale. So as you can see that we are doing it for a long time.
Yes, right.
So I think more Korean artists can come to my reception. Bangladesh, we have kind of history about pottery. As you can see, these
Oh,
pottery
they're
items,
beautiful.
and these are actually all handmade and hand painted, you know, with the colors and everything. And this is also, it's an owl.
Oh,
So-
yes, right.
On New Year's we have this kind of a procession for well-being, and we have in the mask of owl. We think that it is for our well-being.
Oh, so it symbolizes well-being.
Yes,
the
yes.
owl.
Yes, owl and other you know, other kind of features as well, like the birds and other things. These are some brass brass artifacts from Bangladesh. As you can see that you need high skill to have this brass you know, artifacts, and lots of energy, time and resources you have to put on it. So it is actually getting popular again now, because we are doing brass crafts on different things, like you know, for its horse, like elephants and other goddesses. We are making it in brass in Bangladesh. Yes.
I see.
This is rickshaw. Actually, it is a very environment-friendly vehicle transportation in Bangladesh, and we have paintings. Actually, it is made of brass, but we made rickshaw with other things as well, and we have paintings all over rickshaw. And
I
these
see.
paintings we consider it as a street art. So nowadays we are bringing this street painting. We have improved it to this kind of paintings, and bringing it inside home, inside the living room. And you'll be happy to know that I have bring two rickshaw in Korea. One I have actually given to Multicultural Museum. Another I'm planning to give it to the mayor of Yangsan-gu.
Oh, I I
So
see.
we are hoping to do that in the coming days, the handing over ceremony.
So those rickshaw are colorful, very colorful.
Yes, yes, they are.
I see.
They're very colorful, and people love to ride those rickshaw if possible. But I think they will be putting them in a kind of place where you cannot ride them. But if you have the occasion, you'll really love the rickshaw ride.
I see. So Ambassador, soon it's the start of Chuseok holiday here in Seoul. So I brought some Korean traditional dishes here.
Thank you so much for that. Really appreciate it.
And also I see some Bangladeshi dishes as well.
Yes, actually we have a similar celebration like Chuseok because we also celebrate our harvesting, and we call it Nobanno Utshok. Nobanno means new rice and Utshok means festival.
In Korea on Chuseok, we celebrate our Chuseok with all new crop grains as well.
Yeah, actually the foods are made here mainly based on rice. These are the rice cakes of Bangladesh, and these are made of rice puff. And this is a kind of a sweet dish. We call it rice pudding, paesh in our language. So because of all are actually made with the rice.
Oh, I see. Actually, I brought one of Korean traditional dishes made out of rice as well. This is songpyeon. It's a rice cake, and inside of this rice cake, we have some chestnut and peas mashed as well. And you can see the shape of this rice cake looks like a half moon. And during Chuseok, we make our wish during the full moon. So it symbolizes good luck and also new grain as well.
Right. Actually, when we celebrate our Nobanno, we also wish for a better year, better future through dance, singing, and we also have street theaters, jatra, and songs. There's a mystic singers we call bauls. Through that, we actually wish for a better future.
What was the name of this rice cake?
We call it bhapa pita because with the steam we do that.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, you prepare the dough and then you steam out and then it will take the shape of this.
I really like it. It tastes very similar to one of the Korean rice cakes named baekseolgi, and the rice cake part and also the sweet part tastes just same. I really like
Good
it.
to know that. I told you that there are lots of similarities between the two countries, as you can see.
Right, right. Do you like songpyeon, the Korean rice cake?
Yes, I do. We also have similar kind of dish
Right.
in Bangladesh, and since our rice is different, so here the rice is a bit sticky.
Right.
It's also a little bit sticky, but tastes the same. And we may make it with a little bit of salt, and then we fry it, and then eat it with a little bit of spice.
Let me introduce some Korean traditional punch as well. This is 수정과. It's a punch served cold, and it's made out of some simmered ginger and also cinnamon stick. And we put sugar or honey to make it even sweeter.
Oh, right, good.
And also, this is a dried persimmon. Inside of it, it has 6 seeds normally, and it represents some 6 chief executive bodies for Joseon Dynasty. So we enjoy this fruit especially during the special occasions.
Right. Cheers.
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 You like it?
Yes. There's a little bit of spice, not there?
Because of the cinnamon stick.
Yes, I can taste the cinnamon.
And
Good
also
for health must be, no?
also ginger as well.
Okay. And actually, I have made it actually 3 parts because other than Chuseok, we also have New Year's that we celebrate on 14th of April each year. And we have Bangla New Year actually. It is the 1426 Bangla New Year.
Oh, I see.
This one is the Bangla New Year because we have, this is the fermented rice, and Korean people also like it very much because I introduce it in some of our festivals and our home as well. This fish is very associated nowadays with our New Year celebration. We call it hilsha, and you will find it in, in and around Bangladesh. And this is associated with our religious festival Eid. When we have Eid, we have a touch of Mughlai cuisine. So as you can see that this is biryani, chicken biryani, rice with chicken. And this is a special rice from Bangladesh. You see, we call it chini gura. The grains are not very long.
It's smaller, I see.
Smaller, and it has a kind of a scent. So we use this rice for our cooking in Bangladesh. Pilaf and biryani, and this is vermicelli with milk. This is a sweet dish that goes with Eid, and actually it is made of this very thin, you see. And we actually fry it first, then boil it, then mix it with milk, and some nuts over there. Okay, not too spicy for you.
No, it's not at all.
Usually we Bangladeshis, this is on New Year's we especially eat this, but usually we take it with rice with all this.
The texture of rice is a little bit different from the Korean rice.
Yes.
I really like this. Since the noodle is very tiny, the texture is very, very soft.
Yes. You can say that Bangladeshi type of noodles.
Yes.
So we eat, this is the first thing in the morning of our Eid day. We start our day with this.
Ambassador, thank you so much for all the preparation and also your introduction on Bangladeshi dishes today.
Thank you so much, and thank you so much for tasting it and liking it as well.
I really like it.
Thank you so much. It's an honor.
So shall we move on and continue our conversation?
Yes, please. Yes.
So, as we've mentioned before, there seems to be a lot of similarities between Bangladesh and Korea. And based on your own experiences, do we have a lot in common?
As two South Asian nations, what I observed that we respect our seniors, we respect our family values, and we have a strong family bondage and strong kinship. And both the countries are very serious about the education of their children. And in the world, there are very few countries who have fought for their language and also for their alphabets. And I think Bangladesh and Republic of Korea are among those few countries in the world.
Right. Speaking of language, many Koreans are proud of our unique language, and we also have a Hangul Day. I've heard the law for the national language is the same in Bangladesh.
Yes, it is. We also have 21st of February. It is our International Mother Language Day and also the Language Martyrs Day. So we have named the country Bangladesh after our language Bangla. Bangladesh means, Bangla is the language, Desh means the country. So Bangladesh is the land of country, is the country where the people speak Bangla.
Oh, I see. I've never known that the origin of the country name. And as you just mentioned, February 21st, the World National Mother Language Day, has been designated upon the Bangladeshi government's formal request.
Yes, it is, because in 1952, that is 21st February 1952, it is 67 years ago. On that day, our students, they were involved in a language movement because they were protesting against the decision of the ruling elite of the country to announce only Urdu as the state language. At that time, Bengalis who speak Bangla, they constitute 54% of the population, so they were the majority. So under the leadership of our father of the nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, lots of students died that day, and eventually it triggered Bengali nationalism, and then it led to our War of Independence in 1971, and Bangladesh became a new independent country, sovereign country. So as you can see that there's lots of history is attached with 21st of February. So in 1999, UNESCO recognized the sacrifices of our fallen heroes and declared 21st of February as the International Mother Language Day. So from then on, it is almost 20 years UNESCO has recognized. We are observing 21st February as International Mother Language Day and also the Language Martyrs Day of Bangladesh, which we have been observing since 1952.
I see. Now let's talk about our bilateral relations. I believe the strongest relation that we have between our two countries is economic sector. How would you evaluate our bilateral relations in economic sector?
Our bilateral relationship in economic sector, it's increasing. But I must say that there are lots of potentials, which remained unexplored. But after the visit of your Prime Minister, I think there's a momentum has been created. People are much more interested to invest in Bangladesh. At present, our bilateral trade is 1.5 billion, mostly in favor of Republic of Korea. We only import here 300 million worth of goods. Our RMG, that is ready-made garments, they're mostly favored by the Korean people. And other 35 products are coming here. But when the Honorable Prime Minister visited our country, there was, 3 MOUs were signed. One on culture, one on exchange of diplomatic academy, and another one on trade promotion, and also our trade bodies. They also signed a MOU. So I think that more momentum will be created, and this 1.5 billion will be doubled or tripled in the coming days.
I see. You've already mentioned briefly about Prime Minister Lee Nak-yeon's visit to Bangladesh this July. And what other projects are going on in terms of our bilateral cooperation and exchanges?
Some Korean companies are involved in digital connectivity. They are actually implementing 3 projects in Bangladesh. Another one is working in the construction sector of Bangladesh, and we have signed a MOU with their Construction Management Association of Korea in July. We are hoping that more Korean companies will come to Bangladesh and invest and work in construction areas in Bangladesh. And there were other companies who were working with our local partners in the energy sector. And during the visit of the Prime Minister, our Prime Minister requested assistance in cybersecurity, IT. So I think more Korean companies will be coming to Bangladesh in the coming days and invest in these sectors.
So our bilateral cooperation in terms of energy or information and technology is growing, and we can look forward to more
yes,
potential
of course.
impact.
We're also looking forward to that.
I see. This July, you met with the Minister of Ocean and Fisheries, and a while ago also the Bangladeshi Minister of Shipping visited Busan, the new port, and you were also there as well. Was this meetup related to potential bilateral cooperations in the ocean and fisheries industry?
Yes, I think so, because Korea is very much interested in our shipping sector, as also in development of our ports. Because as you know that after the settlement of our maritime boundary with Myanmar and India, we have the vast resource in blue economy, and it is an untapped sector. So our Minister for Shipping, he requested the Korean side for assistance in blue biotechnology, tidal energy, safety and security in oceans, and also training our seafarers, and actually exchange of technical assistant. And we are also very much interested in deep sea fishing. So these are the sectors our minister has requested assistance from Korea, and I hope that Korean government will be extending those assistance to Bangladesh.
I see. The Bangladeshi government declared 2019 as the year of great improvement in tourism. Could you recommend some tourist destinations for our viewers?
Bangladesh is a land of natural beauty and greenery. Actually, it depends what your interests are. Because if you want to see natural beauties, we have longest sea beach of the world in Bangladesh, in Cox's Bazar. We have some islands as well. We have a coral island in St. Martin's, and we have Nijhum Deep, another island where you can see the deers. And we have the mangrove forest in Bangladesh, in Sundarban, and it's a UNESCO heritage site. If you're interested in religious tourism, you will find the oldest monasteries, Buddhist heritage in Bangladesh, and these monasteries are like from 11th century or 1600 BC old, and then you will find Hindu temples which are also very old, like Kantajir Mandir. So it depends actually what is the interest, and if you are interested in architecture, you'll our parliament building, it has been designed by one of the famous architect, Mr. Louis Khan. So you will find other architectural genius in Bangladesh. So it depends actually what the tourists want, but you'll find all range of varieties of touristic places in Bangladesh.
I see. Do Bangladeshi people know a lot about Korea?
Yeah, they do, and especially the young generation. They love the Korean drama, K-pop, and I heard some of the Korean, our young Bangladeshis, they're learning Korean, by watching the Korean dramas. And but unfortunately, I don't think that more Korean people know about Bangladesh, and we should have more people-to-people contact.
Right, right. Do you have any specific plans that are made by embassy to promote more about Bangladesh in Korea?
Actually, we are trying to get involved in all kinds of festivals offered by the Korean government or the local government, and we are actively participating in public diplomacy. So we are trying to promote Bangladesh not only as a investment destination, but also as a tourist destination, also a country where you can come and go and visit. So things like that. We are trying to do that because I believe Bangladesh and Korea has another thing in common, is that we both have century-old culture and heritage, which both of our countries respect and very proud of it.
Right. Lastly, what is something that you would really like to achieve before you finish your term as an ambassador?
As I have mentioned that I emphasize more on people-to-people contact. So I'm trying to have, establish direct flights between our two capitals. Some Korean companies are already, working on that. We are hoping that it will happen during my tenure. Because as I've mentioned, our young people are very interested about Korea. They want to know more about Korea. And if this connectivity takes place, then I hope that more Korean people will know about Bangladesh. And I have another dream that during the last 40 years, there was no visit from the Korean president to Bangladesh. So I'm hoping that during my tenure, it will happen, because your Prime Minister have been to Bangladesh, at different times, and the last, it took after 17 years, a Korean Prime Minister visited Bangladesh. So I hope in the coming days there will be opportunity for the Korean President to visit Bangladesh. I'm really looking forward to that.
Ambassador, thank you so much for your time and also sharing your insights with our viewers. And we're really looking forward to your future activities here in Korea.
Thank you so much, and you're most welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.